Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you're doing great. Matt Corville coming at you live from Montreal, Canada. For those who don't know me, my name is Matt. I'm 26 years old and I am a futures trader. I trade order flow. I have been trading for 5 years, and my first years trading were with Forex, CFDs, indicators, SMC, ICT. And about 6 months ago, I made the transition to futures and to order flow, and I'm basically documenting my learning journey with it. So basically, the way I trade is very simple. I look at volume profile levels and at footprint imbalances, and when price reaches them, I then jump on the footprint to look for absorption and whether or not we're going to have a reversal or just a continuation. I also add VWAP deviations as confluence, and heat map levels are for targets, more or less. I'm really looking to improve my trading by adding the big trades indicator, and I would also like to look at CVD divergences. And that's pretty much it, to be honest. I don't use the DOM, I don't use the time and sales. Today we are Thursday, November 6th, and I just wanted to do my journaling session, as always, recording my screen and talking over it. Unfortunately, today I didn't trade either because I had some appointments in the morning, and also I'm still learning from the DTI Diamond Trading Institution from Lambo Raoul. He has an order flow course and I just finished it today. It was extremely short, so I should be good for trading tomorrow. Okay guys, so let's get going. Alright, so from what I can see, we had a beautiful trending day, not going to lie. London and Asia went out of balance. And then this is basically auction market theory, AMT. Price is in balanced area, fair value, and then it goes out of balance, which is called an imbalanced, and then it starts trending, and then it consolidates again. Okay? But price a lot of times will start going out of balance at cash open during the New York session. Okay, so first of all, I would just like to put the volume profile levels. So I put my volume profile from 930 to 4, and we're going to drag those levels, and we're going to put those levels on my chart. So here we're going to put the previous day value area low, and we're going to put the previous day point of control, PDPOC, and we are going to put the previous day value area high. Okay, and now we're going to drag the overnight volume profile from 4 p.m. to 9:30 a.m. So this is our overnight volume profile. I put it a different color. Okay, and we're gonna put now today's volume profile from 9:30 to what time? You got it, 4 p.m. I'm just gonna put my levels already for tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, this is something I've been noticing. Price likes to Price likes to do the high of the day at around in from 8 to 9. I've noticed this a few times, to be honest. Anyway, okay, so now that we have our volume profile levels, we can mark maybe some swing highs and swing lows. Okay, so basically the point of today's video is basically study what happened here at the reversal. I want to study what happened on the footprints if we saw absorption, okay? So basically you could argue price took this high, but then it really took quite some time. It took I would say a good 30 minutes of going higher and a couple points higher to give it really a nice clean reversal. And I want to study what happened here at 12 if we had a point of reversal. So basically the high and the low of the day, really study what happened here. And most importantly, I want to look at footprint imbalances. Alrighty, everybody, the footprint chart is up there. So, like I said, I want to study what happened here at 8:38. We came around the overnight volume profile value area high, and we took that high, which was, I believe, Asia high or something like that, or maybe I'm mistaken. No, we just took this swing high. Okay, so let's study what happened here. So on the 5 minute, Price came into an imbalance here, but we had our reversal. How many points above? 33 to 42, about 9 points higher. So this is a little bit tricky. It came at the VWAP deviation, the 90% one, so this could have been an indication, but still 8:30 sharp. Kind of weird if you ask me. But yeah, let's just look at what happened here at 8:30 on the 1 minute. Okay, so here we are. Let's have a look at it. Very interesting. We have very strong bullish candles. Okay, very strong numbers, whether you're looking at the final delta or the max delta. Okay, and they're going up, but you can see that there is some selling pressure here. You see the wicks, they're pushing lower and lower. And now this candle here has obviously a little bit less volume, but you can see the difference here between the two numbers about 30, as of the difference here between the two numbers is about 13 or something like that. Okay? And you're really expecting follow through of this candle, but you're not seeing it at all. And then boom, the volume is much higher, and then it goes from minus 138 to minus 98. Okay, and then you have another candle, but you could argue, okay, maybe the buyers are still holding this. Okay, because you have some sort of a wick here and it closes above its 50%, so it should have been a positive candle, but very negative numbers. And I guess maybe you could have entered here, but that's just in hindsight. This is what happened footprint wise, absorption wise here at 8:30. And now let's study what happened here at around, what time was it? Noon. So very, very interesting here. It does a pattern which I have seen multiple times. It creates a high, breaks the low, breaks the high, breaks the low. Everybody's confused. Breaks the high, comes back. This is basically what you have here, if you can see it. So this is here, this is here. I see this a lot happening. And it's easy to say, oh yeah, I would have entered here for a buy, but let's see here just what happened on the prints. So it was at 12:27 at noon. Okay, here we are. So price just took a low. Okay. So you're expecting some sort of a reversal after liquidity grab, and you're targeting the high maybe. Okay. So this is a typical ICT trade, I believe. Price does a change of character, it comes back to fill an inducement. This low took liquidity. It's a typical SMC trade. Okay. But let's just look at what happened on the prints. So basically, okay, you got this level here, but it's kind of tricky because you can see that the buyers are trying to push this, but without any success. A lot of aggressive buyers are trying to push this up, but the passive sellers are really, really pushing it down. Then the passive sellers show up, try to push it, but it doesn't really go much lower. You can see now that there's some buying pressure from passive buyers now. And now this candle is a little bit interesting. It's got big wicks, trap sellers here, and it goes from minus 418 to minus 320, which is not that bad, not that bad. But then you want to see follow through. The next candle, are we going to have a bullish or a bearish candle? Okay, and you see the buyers really pushing it and pushing it again, and that could have been maybe an entry. Price pushes through the imbalance, and after it has a harder time pushing through the imbalance. Now, this candle is interesting because you can see that aggressive sellers are really trying to push it down, but they're having a really hard time. Okay, and what do you have after? Trap sellers at the bottom, a nice wick to the downside, and you really have, like I said, aggressive sellers, but it's the passive buyers that are really pushing it up. So the passive buyers just showed up too. It consolidates at this area, which is right here, and then it comes back after taking the high. Maybe you could have caught something here, and then it comes here, and it finally went much, much, much higher, and it finally went a little bit higher, and price has been in balanced conditions ever since. So this is basically it. But starting at 9:30, were there any trades? Hard to say, bro. So price basically came at the overnight volume profile value area low. You're wanting to see if it will give a buy from here, okay? If you can buy from here. Let's just see. Maybe I would have looked for a buy here because value area low acts as support. So let's have a look here at 9:30, but still, yeah, it's cash open. So cash open, sometimes it can do a manipulation, manipulates price. It goes into the false direction if you want to, and then it really sets the tone for the rest of the day. It can trend for the rest of the day. But let's just look here at what happened here if I would have gotten tricked by a buy at 9:29. Okay, so as you can see here is here. Okay. So you got a super negative candle. The two numbers, the minimal delta and the final delta, are looking very similar. Super negative candle. Now you want to see a follow through of that bearish candle if you want to confirm your bias to the downside. Now you're really not getting it, okay? It goes all the way from minus 32 to 354. Okay, so the aggressive buyers are really showing up, but it has somehow a wick to the upside, so the sellers are still trying to push it down. So you really want to see the candle after what is going to happen. And it's quite interesting because you have very negative numbers. What is important to look at is the final delta. Now if you compare it to the two numbers, the minimal delta and the maximum delta, okay, it's a lot, the number is a lot more similar to the minimal delta. And you could say it went all the way from 459 to minus 214. So a lot of aggressive selling in this candle. But what really happened? Did it go down? Absolutely not. It went up a lot. So it's showing you that the passive sellers really showed up, okay, to absorb all the aggressive selling. Okay. Now you look at this candle, the final delta is looking very similar to the max delta, and then you could say it went from all the way from minus 109 to 102, okay, and it shoot up, super nice follow through, okay, the buyers are really getting rewarded. So yes, maybe I would have gotten tricked here. Just the cash open bullshit, as I like to call it, a lot of fake outs, random volatility, okay, and turns out this thing really dropped. So after it comes down and this level fails, you can really expect a revisit of this level. Okay, a break and retest trade. So I want to look at what happened here more or less at here at 948. Okay, so you got super positive candles, positive, positive, but somehow the aggressive buyers are getting absorbed for it to have such a small body. Now, if you look at the candle after, it's showing you something, okay? It goes from 634 to 455. Not too bad, but what do you see? A big wick to the upside, indicating a lot of selling pressure. So interesting. Let's look at the candle after. The candle after doesn't really tell us anything, it's just a follow through of the buying activity, of the buying pressure. Goes from 565 to 499. Interesting. Okay. Now we want to see follow through of all that strong buying. And really there's no aggressive selling. Then the aggressive selling really shows up. It really drops. Massive, massive, massive candle. Okay, and maybe you could have entered here when those imbalances were forming, but you would have gotten quite late and your stop loss would have been pretty large. But those imbalances, they were quite nice, indicating the strength of the move. So I'm still trying to figure out how I could have entered here, to be honest. Let's say we entered here. What could we have targeted? I think we could have targeted this previous daily low here. So let's just mark it here. So this could have been a nice trade, if you ask me. No, you would have actually gotten in here and yeah, not that nice. Yeah, so you would have gotten here at around 950, okay, at those imbalances. Here, the moment you see those imbalances being formed, maybe you can enter. So at 0625, do you go short? 0625. You put your stop loss above. What do you target? The previous daily low. Put it here. So it would have been a 5R. Okay. Nothing too crazy. 5R. So there's a way, I believe, to be able to enter right here, but that's why I'm investing into new education, just to figure that out, really. So yeah, basically that's it for today, guys. Missed trade. Yeah, just here, where would I have entered at 1227? Let's come here. Where would I have entered? Maybe this one or this one? Yeah, probably this one. Let's look at 6739. Long position, 6739. Boom. What do you target? So this would have been a 3R. Not the end of the world. It's okay. It's an okay trade. Okay, guys. So I think that's going to be all for today. I don't know if I really missed a nice day. I wouldn't be able to tell you. But yeah, I think tomorrow I'm going to be back at trading full force. So yeah, basically that's it, guys, for today. I hope you learned a little bit about absorption today and footprint imbalances, footprint absorption, volume profile levels. And basically that's it, guys. So have a nice evening. Cheers. See ya. Peace.